You're fabulous.
Whatever you are.
Oh, you are fabulous.
No, you are.
Who's more fabulous? Is this me?
No.
See? What about Jenny Perkins? She's kind and she's nice and she's fabulous.
Oh, thank you, Kyan. You are fabulous.
Hey guys, welcome back to this week's Coffee with Kyan. Most of you saw the picture on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, on the streets, at the Georgia. How many veterans have you been?
Oh, too many to count.
The Southeast Streaming.
Southeast Streaming. If there is a Salesforce event, I will be there.
And you probably have seen her there. So if you don't know her already, especially if you're in Atlanta, definitely check out this girl. Who are you?
Jenny Perkins, Salesforce Specialist, IT Works.
Ooh, Jenny, what do you do?
So I specialize in the provision of Salesforce experts for my clients all across the U.S., specifically in Atlanta.
I'm so proud. So how long have you been with us?
So I have been with IT Works for a total of 2 months, I think.
Wow, I feel like me
6
forever.
weeks, maybe.
So what do you feel about Gary Dieter?
I love Gary Dieter. He is absolutely fantastic.
Yes,
love that he has given me this opportunity. And yes, he is absolutely fantastic.
That's so funny.
Amazing leader, amazing leadership.
What do you think about Paul Kimbrook as he's watching from probably Vegas right now?
Probably Vegas at the conference.
Or maybe Southern California.
Could be. Is he in Southern California?
I think so.
Amazing. Amazing energy, passionate, amazing leader. Yes.
True salesperson can turn anything into anything positive. Just kidding. Just kidding. So Jenny, I know you came from a background that is quite different.
It is. It is a little different, but still kind of similar.
So tell us a little bit more about what environment you came from. I know some of you guys have followed us through each of our own. We all came from quite a unique background, but I know that you came in a very hardcore and a very cutthroat sales environment. Walk us through a little bit more about your background.
Sure. Well, yes, I came from Enterprise Rent-A-Car. I was there for 13 years and started as a management trainee. They have a fantastic management trainee program. And started in the rental branches as a management trainee and worked my way up managing the rental branches. And then was promoted, moved to the sales side. So started as a sales executive, selling the used car inventory, and then moved into finance. So as a finance manager, an area manager, and then a group sales manager.
Wow, was it by choice or was it a personal decision to go into sales?
Oh,
how did that start?
Yes, by choice, and then nomination. So yes.
Peer pressure to self-determination to make that choice. Yes, I'm gonna do this.
It was good, but no, I really do love sales because I do love helping a customer, helping a friend, a family member, find a product that they need, that they want at a great deal. So for me, sales is very fulfilling and very rewarding because I do feel like we are providing an excellent service for someone.
Wow. So through the different type of products, because Enterprise work with different type of vehicle, obviously, the different type of brands, what was your experience like just going through the inventory, knowing the people? Walk us through a little bit more your day-to-day, what that was like.
Well, it was definitely working with customers, working with employees. So I did all the recruiting and staffing also for the Connecticut, Massachusetts region and also the Atlanta region. So working with a lot of our sales team too, coaching, employee development, training. So it was a lot.
Wow.
Yes, a lot of great things. So,
goodness.
Yes.
So what was your transition like from 13 years? And then through the transition to today.
Well, it's funny you say that. So, Kyan, you think this is about me. It's actually about you. I think you have some news to share with us.
So we'd like to interrupt this broadcast to give a special announcement to your viewers, Kyan, and about your engagement with Tony. We wish you all the very best here at IT Work. All right, and just as tradition, as I like to throw people in at the deep end, these two people are going to Jenny and Jared, our Salesforce experts, are actually going to interview you for the first time.
Oh,
I'll leave it over to you two guys, and if you could just organise the the microphone so you can be heard.
Don't worry, Jenny Perkins will be back on Coffee with Kyan next Friday, so tune in at 3:30. But we're going to talk a little bit about Kyan Way.
Come around here.
What have I done?
So Kyan
Created a monster.
Kyan just got engaged this past weekend, so huge congratulations. But tell us a little bit about how long you've been with IT Works.
Oh my god. My start date was January 4th, 2016.
So let me take this.
Now I've become the least dynamic person ever on Coffee
in your.
Oh, I love the flowers. Thank you. You guys are too kind. I feel like the balloon is a curse. Oh my god.
So yeah, you started with
Sorry,
IT Works.
Yes.
And what? Tell us about your career path. You've been in recruitment for how many years now? In staffing.
Longer than I would like to admit. And then somebody that I participate in my mid-channel career is actually laughing at me right now.
So Kyan is a huge pillar here at IT Works. I don't know if you realize this, but he has a show called Coffee with Kyan. We're on it right now, every Friday at 3:30. And it's not typical that we get a chance to interview him. So we did want to talk a little bit about what brought you here. What are your goals and aspirations? Are you going to cry? You can't cry.
You can't cry.
You can't
We're
cry
live.
on
You can't
Facebook
cry.
Live.
I'm actually speechless. I'm like,
He's, okay.
put it in writing.
And we're live.
We're live.
And we're live. No, but you've been here for 2 years. 2 years. He's our director of training and development. Does a fantastic job. Puts together some amazing training modules for all of the folks here, to learn and to become the best that we can be. So I actually learned everything that I know about recruitment from this guy when I started with IT Works. And I'm sure the other people that have taught me what I know learned what they know from you. So it kind of stems from you, and you're a huge pillar here. So we really wish you a huge congratulations. What are
And we'll see you next.
No, you're not getting out that
So-
easy.
Oh my goodness.
What are the plans? Is there a plan for a wedding, or what do we have to expect?
Talking about anticipation, recruitment is all about anticipation. I personally semi-anticipated that was happening, but didn't know enough about the detail. And then I have to admit, through all my process, how I have anticipated the process, I didn't quite close the other half properly. So I think the news was delayed in the announcement itself. But I think that going back to your questions earlier, I think that there is always a plan. I'm still trying to figure out what that plan would look like. It's like changing jobs, like changing careers, like changing where to live. And then I think that most of us have gone through that process. You live in Charleston in the past, you came from Washington, live in North Carolina for a little while. We treat this very dearly because I think that me in my role specifically, either I participated in the process from the very beginning, or somehow that I'm blessed to be in part of the process upon you guys coming on board through the ongoing basis. Every step means a whole lot to me. And I feel like I'm very fortunate to have this opportunity to make a difference.
Absolutely.
Well, we feel so fortunate to have you in the place where you are as our trainer. And I've only been here, 6 weeks. You've taught me so much. And you're so helpful and just easily approachable and just...
Either you like it or not. That translates into approachable or not.
Yes, you are. You are very approachable. And just the knowledge that you have from, your recruiting background and from your experiences is invaluable. And you do such a great job of communicating that to us and just helping all of us be the best that we can be. So we thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So I know that the engagement is new. Obviously, you may not have a complete plan as far as what you're looking to do. We can let that marinate for a little bit before you have a complete plan. What's your favorite place that you've traveled with your significant other?
Barcelona.
Ooh,
Barcelona?
Yes.
When was
Beautiful.
This was about a year and a half ago. We went through there through the holiday with friends as well. I think that was an interesting trip, that there was a little absolutely happened with our friend who happened to be hospitalized when he got there. And then, ironically, the first name is Paul.
Oh.
But, not to make any correlation to it, but he kind of made that trip actually memorable. You know, as life goes, we try to plan and anticipate the best we can, but it may not always go by our plan. But what we can do is to make best of every situation based on what we can do and really make it happen, determine whatever the goal was. And then we had a lovely time there to make the best out of everything we wanted to see, but also made it a very special occasion, spending with the people that we love to spend time with and travel together, enjoying life. And the goal really is how do we bring the person back home safe and sound, and that happened. So, and I think that goes back into what I'm trying to do is, I think day in, day out, I want to know that I'm making a difference day by day. Either being me doing what I do for people around me for myself, which internally gives back to people around me as we're all in this together.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I think Ray wants to jump in and say something.
Yes, Ray, jump
Hang on.
in.
Congratulations.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Try not to cross the pool table.
Right, the one thing I've been with our company now for about 18 months, and one of the things that caught my attention, I've been many hundreds of years in the industry, is I view you as being the keeper of the culture, the guru for the culture. Tell us a bit about the magnetic culture that we're evolving here, and what your understanding of that is, because it's quite a vital ingredient, I think.
That's a great question, actually, especially on the magnetic culture part.
Some people might not know what's meant by that term,
Yeah.
so maybe start there.
We actually went by a book that was written by, somebody's going to have to help me with this. I think it's by Sheridan, but we'll come back and quote it in the comment section. From what I have absorbed when I first got in contact with Gary, or the other way around actually, it was actually Amy Benfield, who's getting married on May 4th. So during Amy's actually onboarding and hiring process, I was involved from a reference turned into a potential candidate to actually physically coming here 4 weeks after she came into IT Works. Gary and I talked about magnetic culture at that point, and before I officially transitioned into my position. It's something that struck me, as I always try to do in the culture setting, in the corporate setting. But in the corporate role, we may not always have the opportunity to, depend on the size of the organization, depend on how the business is structured and all. But coming down at the end of the day is, we are in this environment which we don't sell products. We don't have inventories. Our product is the people.
Right.
And anything that's tangible down to the product itself, there is not emotional attached to it. It's the people. There is emotion. There is personality. Then we can talk about the energy, the enthusiasm, and the magnetic part is, we know that is created by people, based by people. Then the next is, how can we help to make each other even more brilliant day in and day out? And I use this analogy over and over is, if we bring two people together, it has to be 1 + 1 greater than 2.
Correct.
If we have two people together, that actually ultimately creates deficiency. There's no point in any way to have a business to be considered a well-run business or be called any success on top of it. Then we'll actually be dealing with playing the defense, going through learning from our mistake, but we won't be able to move forward. So I use that 1 + 1 greater than 2 down to 1 + 1 + 1 greater than 3 into now creating a team and pool of people to actually, first of all, enjoy each other's company.
Right.
Actually
That's
that's very important, and enjoy doing what we do, which I think most of us are here, if not all of us who are here, is because we are passionate about what we do.
For real. And in another life, I was given a similar analogy that says that the first thing you do is you find exceptional people. So you make sure that our recruitment and selection for internal staff, that we're finding quantifiably above average people, 80th percentile employees here, consultants. And then from there, they've all got different idiosyncrasies and training needs, and that's where you come in and you identify those and then enhance that person's skills relevant to a market. And then the last piece, which is what led me into that, is the nugget that's very important, is you create the culture where they absolutely have a brilliant desire to flourish. And that's a lot more intangible, and that's what I think you do so well in that one. I wanted to congratulate you. And on that note, goodbye.
No, I'll definitely echo what he said, but I think that part of the culture
Ray Gilbert, ladies and gentlemen.
I think that the culture encompasses this show, and we've watched the evolution of Coffee with Kyan, and I'd love for the audience to kind of hear how this started.
Season 2, episode 15, and I'm tasting my own medicine right now.
where this started, and then what do you envision? What do you envision? Because you've brought different folks on the show. You've went to coffee shops. You've went to pet stores. You went to so many different places. What's your vision for Coffee with Kyan in 2018?
2018, and hopefully have the chance of renewing the contract for season 3 and beyond. I think that the vision really is I want more stories to be heard that are relevant. I think that with the element of coffee, which is one of my passion, things I enjoy, I'm probably over partaking it on a daily basis, but is using that as an element to connect with people that we have somewhat of a common ground, and then to let more stories be heard, because I believe that including our internal process, working in our respective market, both we are in Salesforce, we want to ingrain that, you are Salesforce, you are representing your people, but also you bring value to people. I want that relevance, and also that I know that, again, I'm making a difference by you watching this video, either 1 minute in, 10 seconds in, you learn something that you didn't know before. And I think that I walk away from this moment is, for the past 25 minutes, I know I did something that I contributed. Because I think that the involvement is very important. So we all felt like, same thing that we all have targets to hit. We, once we do something, we close a deal, close a placement, or I help to prep this candidate before they go on an interview. There is a sense of involvement, and I think that translates into, we walk away from the end of the day is, I was actually talking to Sheldon about this just now. So you feel like that you walk away, you accomplish something, and then we can be very proud of it about saying that what we have accomplished. Because otherwise, day can go by, and weeks can go by, months can go by, then we can be proudly say that have I lived,
Right.
have I enjoyed it, have I done the best that I can,
Yeah,
and go from there.
definitely. And so let me do my little echo in, and since we're praising Kyan, this is all.
Sheldon Peters, Cerner specialist.
Yes,
let's-
Cerner.
No, Epic specialist.
Epic.
Oh my gosh, you're on the Cerner table, so I get confused.
It's perfect timing that we're talking about this today, because in my weekly business review with Kyan, we nailed that down, and I just think it's brilliant that we're cognizant of that. I came from another staffing agency, and we weren't cognizant of things like that, and so we ran into a lot of days where you leave and it's like, I didn't do anything, and I spent 8 hours thinking that I did a lot. And so, Kyan, I really, really applaud that you are intent on training us to think that way from the jump, from week 1 when we get here. How many calls are you making? How are your calls going? Tracking what we're really doing and how we're really getting the most out of everything we do. So I appreciate you always. Congratulations. Thanks for letting me segue and show my beautiful face.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys be.
And let me correct myself, that was Sheldon Peters, Epic specialist here
That
at
was
IT
epic.
Works.
He's pretty epic.
So there's a lot of raw material that goes into Coffee with Kyan. It's not always planned. It's actually usually not planned. So we want to thank you for letting us go away from our regular scheduled broadcasting. Kyan, thank you so much for everything you do for IT Works. Huge congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
And we will see you next Friday.
Thank you, guys. Please come back. And Amaze is a happy announcement. If we somehow this hits over 100 views, what time is it right now?
I don't have a watch.
3:58 by 3:10. If we're able to reach over 120 views on here,
4:10.
4:10, 10 past 4. We'll start our Friday afternoon tradition at 4:15.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, and he's buying.
120 views. Thank you, guys. Any question, please leave a comment, and then I'll look forward to seeing you next week. I'll go back to our normal program. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you all.
Congratulations, Kyan.